It would not be a season of Mid Pursuit Party without a Team Pursuit event somewhere. As we have reached that point now, as we head into the final quarter of the season. A very intimidating track here. Lots of spiraling. It's a pretty dizzying event. It's a bracket event. Two teams face off. First round across limits. You need to have all four models crossing the line. Contrary to some other Red Wings 3, you need to have all four here. The Perils Banks and the Azure Army are going to demonstrate it. Perils Banks looked at slightly, but the Azure Army gets right back up. They won that. It's the Charger Cells and the Tonic Shifters now. They'll start off in a pretty green matchup here. And they will start off. The Tonic Shifters might have gone the slightly better start, which is pretty surprising. Because they look to keep the lead. They are stretching it. An easy victory for the Tonic Shifters. They really need it. The Tartar Sellers also really needed it. Were sitting firmly in second place a few events ago, but it's all fallen apart for them in the second half. The Tonic Shifters will take it 9:65. That's a pretty good time. 10:11 for the Chartreuse Sellers. Firefighters and Doorknobs will make up the next seed. Firefighters have been having great improvement this season in comparison to the last. Doorknobs have kind of slipping off a bit as of late, though, as they are pretty close out of the gate. As the Doorknobs look to have taken the slight lead, as you can easily tell that when the two teams go right next to each other there, and I think the Doorknobs did take the victory there. It was close the entire way throughout, but the Doorknobs just a little bit more speed on the near side, and they are going to win this one. Firefighters not continuing the success as a 9.8 and a 9.94 will be the times here. Morty Milton and the Rollblazers will make up the 30. Rollblazers are the winners of the last event, and Morty Milton are still solidly sitting in the middle of the pack after a great start of the season. They have fallen off a bit though, but they start off much better than the Rollblazers, keeping it very close together. Rollblazers trying to catch up a bit, and they actually got pretty close, but the Morty Milton will still win it. The Rollblazers continue with the trend of every other event they managed to get a medal, but then also followed up by a bottom half finish. As the Morty Milton will take it. Those times were actually a bit slower than they were in the first two heats. As the Fantastics and Kelcrashers will make up the fourth heat. Kelcrashers need any result. They finished dead last again in the last event. Fantastics are sitting very well up in third. But it's not a very steady third place, but they do have the lead now against the Kelcrashers. They're going to knock them out easily. Kelcrashers have not placed top half since the second event of this season, which was only 8th. And the Fantastics will take it. The Fantastics hoping to perhaps gain a bit on the teams ahead of them, although they are a ways ahead. They're going to give it the roll. So they will beat the Kelcrashers soundly. Nemesis Neons and Flying Attacks will make up the 5th heat of the first round. Two teams sitting towards the middle. Flying Attacks have been really slipping as of late. Nemesis Neons are sitting in 7th, and the Nemesis Neons have the lead right now. Flying Attacks trying to catch up, but it just is not going to work for them. No. Flying Attacks, the disappointment continues for them. Nemesis Neons will move on. Nemesis Neons have been having a pretty decent season. Particular highlights in the middle. You see they got 2 medals in 3 events. They'll take it here. 10.01. 10.38 Flying Attacks. That's a very poor time. That is the weakest one so far. 20 Attacks and Crown Collab now. Two teams that seem to face each other quite a bit in bracket events. And one of them is sitting very well high up in the standings. That will be the Turning Taxis. They're sitting second. Crown Collab are very low down. This is the Turn Taxis who take the lead, as standings are pretty reflective of the results here. Turning Taxis. They always seem to be good in bracket-style team events. No matter what event, they always manage to do well, and they knock out the Crown Collab pretty easily here with a 10.02. Crown Collab, that's another pretty poor time for them. Veins of Valence and Ballistic Bottles now penultimate heat of the first round. A newbie against a veteran. Veins of Valiance have been slipping off a bit as of late. Actually, both of these teams have been doing that. As the Ballistic Bottles look to have the slight lead. Veins of Valiance trying to catch up, but they're lacking further behind. Ballistic Bottles will take the win very easily. That did not look good for Veins of Valiance down the stretch. A little bit hard to see them there, but the Ballistic Bottles will get the victory, though it's a little bit hard to see them on the track. But the Veins of Valiance, that's a very easy victory. 9.93. Get another sub 10 second time, but the Veins of Valiance have the weakest time so far. Now the Trinonders and the Swollypops. Swollypops have the humongous task of defeating the Titans of this league, and it's pretty close out of the gate. The Swollypops look to even take the lead slightly. The Trinonders trying to catch back up. I think the Swollypops still have it. At the final spiral, Trident Hunters make it at the end. With a burst of speed, they knock out the Swirly Pops. And the Turning Taxis did advance as well. So they haven't exactly got the late improvement, but they just knocked a lot of other teams out of championship contention. And we're reminded there are still 3 events left after this, but Trident seem to be cruising to this championship as the Firefighters take best of the rest. Bit unlucky there to get a sub that second time and not advance in the Vase of Valiance. And Flag Attacks, bottom 2, third or fourth from last season. Their struggles are continuing. Scout Crushers in 12th this time, which is a little bit better. Tectonic Shifters and Doorknobs will go up next for our first quarter final. And they're off. Tectonic Shifters look to have the slight lead out of the gate. Doorknobs trying to catch back up, and they do. It's pretty close right now. Doorknobs might take the lead, though Tectonic Shifters won't get it. Out of nowhere, in the final section, the last turnaround, they'll take it, and Tectonic Shifters will get top 4. They have a good chance to finally get their first medal of the season. They have been stuck in near the bottom, but they might finally get some light to the season. It's the Morty Mealtime and Fantastic now. 2 white teams going at it. It's these that would love another podium finish. And it's the Fantastics who take a much better start than Morty Mealtime. Morty Mealtime trying to catch back up, but it doesn't really work for them so far. The Fantastics will keep the lead, take an easy advancement. Fantastics definitely have been the most impressive out of all the new teams. They have been having a consistent season with 2 goals. They'll be to add to that medal tally here. Morty Mealtime will be knocked out. Morty Mealtime have been on a decent stretch of events as of late, but this time is very slow though, so I don't think it'll amount to that much overall. Nemesis Neons and Turning Taxis will go up next. Turning Taxis come off 3 bronzes in a row. Nemesis Neons haven't had a top 4 finish in a while, and the Turning Taxis take the lead here. Nemesis Neons try to catch up, but the final moment is lagging way behind, and that will hang them up here. Turning Taxis will get the win very easily. The Nemesis Neons last moment was way behind. Turning Taxis another top 4 finish, their 4th one in a row. The last 3 were all bronzes. I hope that they can do better here. Get a top 2, although the Trident Hunters are still actually way ahead of them in the standings. So it's not super likely that they can chase down and go for a championship. As the Trident Hunters are in this heat against the Ballistic Bottles. We've seen this matchup before. It was a relatively slow start from the Trident Hunters there. That allows the Ballistic Bottles in the lead early on. The Trident Hunters they catch back up as they have done before. I think they might have the lead now. It's close down the end. But I think the Trident Hunters might have taken it in this battle of see-through teams. Ballistic Bottles really would have loved to get a top 4. They only have 1 medal all season. They've been fairly consistent, but the lack of medals still has dropped them down. But the Trident Hunters did take it. As if it wasn't enough, it is another top 4 for the Trident Hunters here. A lot of teams will be out of contention after this one. Tectonic Shifters and Fantastic now in the first semifinal. Tectonic Shifters, if they can move on and they guarantee the first medal. The Fantastics are not going to make that very easy though. And they are pretty much equal to the get. Tectonic Shifters staying very close together, but the Fantastics look to be slightly faster. Now the front stretch Fantastics will take it. The Tectonic Shifters, well, if they get a medal, it won't be any more than bronze. But they still got to fight for it. Fantastics, they are guaranteed a medal. And they are looking to defend that overall bronze spot, which looks to be very steady, considering how the Chargers Sellers did in this event. And the Vase of Valiance also did poorly. It's the Turning Taxis and Trident Hunters will make up the second semifinal. This is a pretty big matchup. The top 2 in the championship facing each other. The Trident Hunters have a 40-point lead, and they take the lead again. They'll only extend the lead if they move on here, and it looks like they will do it. Trident Hunters have done it again. Top 2 again for the 6th medal of the season. Turning Taxis, they once again will fail to finish top 2. They could go for a 4th bronze in a row. Trident Hunters 9-9-9. Will head to the finals. It's unbelievable. Tectonic Shifters Turning Tax now. We'll get a pretty interesting result regardless. Either the Tectonic Shifters win the first medal of the season, or the Turning Tax get the 4th bronze in a row. And so far it looks like the format. The Tectonic Shifters take a big lead. Turning Taxes look to be unable to catch up, and they won't. Tectonic Shifters, very glad. They have the first medal of the season. They're already out of contention. They probably aren't even going to be able to podium. But they will take this small highlight too. But it's otherwise been a pretty dreadful season for them. Turning Taxes will miss it on the podium. They will get 4th. So the Trident Hunters lead will increase by at least 8 points. But it could increase by 13. But the Fantastics are facing them in the final. Who will win it? And they're off. As the Trident Hunters look at their lead. No, Fantastics take it. They have to go down there very speedy. They get separated a little bit there as the Trident Hunters catch back up. And the Fantastics try to get it down to the line. That was a close matchup. And it has so many implications. Trident Hunters consistently managed to make a comeback. They've done it so many times. But then finds the Fantastics gain a burst of speed, and they might have done it. I think they have. And they did. 300th of a second. Fantastics. Oh, quite literally a fantastic performance. Win their third gold of the season. Trident Hunters in second place. Their lead is going to be absolutely ginormous. In fact, it'll be 48. And that is almost 2 events worth of leading. That is absolutely unbelievable. Tectonic Sisters will take a bronze medal. But the Trident Hunters, well, congratulations to the podium. As the top 3, they'll move the Fantastics now are 20 points out of the charge finals, and only 4 teams can still win it. There's 3 events left, and there's only 4 teams that can win it. That is absurd. The Chargers themselves already need a pretty massive miracle. Kragalab and Kelpie is already out of podium contention. With the Trident Hunters, it's unbelievable. As we'll see you for the next event, the Collision. Thank you for watching. Keep on spinning.